What's up, ladies? What's going on? Welcome to the True Feminine Show. My name is Rachel. I am a dating and relationship coach. I talk all things dating and relationships, masculine and feminine energy, and ultimately how to help the successful modern woman attract high quality men and become the most magnetic versions of themselves. A topic that comes up a ton inside of my Instagram, which if you don't follow along there, be sure to do that. I do lots of Q&As in there, and this one comes up a lot for me. And that question is, how do I know if he is the one? How do I know what makes someone the one or the person for me? Well, this is a juicy topic, and I've got a lot of ways to help you know if your person is quote unquote the one. So before we do anything and before we dive into my 4 ways to tell if your man is the one, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you love this video and these types of topics and you want to hear more. And if you have any other ideas or topics you would love to hear me touch on and talk about, be sure to leave those in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll meet you there. Let's dive right in. Well, first and foremost, let's talk about this mystical the one. This is something that we hear a lot on Netflix, romance novels. We even sometimes hear a person that we know love story, and they describe this euphorical feeling of this person being the one. Maybe you've even experienced such chemistry and fire with a particular man that you are sure, or you feel as though there is some cosmic force that causes someone to all of a sudden be or become the one. So the one is tricky, but to be honest, I don't really believe that there is this magical one person out there for you, and if you don't find them, then you're doomed in your love life. No, I truly think and believe that you choose the one, that you choose who you want to do life with. You choose who you're going to love, and that takes a little bit of research. It takes really getting to know somebody. Will you have chemistry? Sure, absolutely. Will you even get butterflies in the beginning? Yes, but it doesn't mean that person is the one. What makes someone the one is if you know that you can actually walk through life in a committed relationship for the rest of your life together, that you have each other's back. So let's jump in to number 1. And that is, you will know if somebody is the one through their actions and habits, through the way that they show up for you, the amount of investment that they are willing to give to you and towards the relationship. And I'm not just talking about like he takes you to a fancy dinner, he texts you good morning every morning and good night at night. Maybe you get a phone call from time to time. No, those are okay. But when I'm talking about real investment with a man, when I'm talking about a man showing up with his actions and habits, it looks like a lot of things, but one being he's always looking for ways to spend more time with you. He is trying to clear his schedule to spend time with you. This is the real deal. A man who really truly makes time for you. He puts investment in you. Another thing is, yes, he does pay for your dinners, and it doesn't mean that he's going to pay for your dinners the rest of your relationship or the rest of your life, because in this modern world, we do know that men and women are making pretty much about the same things, and women are making just as much as men. So there isn't a whole lot of polarity there. So it doesn't mean that you guys don't come into doing halvesies within your relationship. In the beginning, is he really showing and proving that I have this willingness to be generous towards you? I have this willing heart to give my time, because we all know that time is the most precious, most valuable thing in life. And I am willing to give my money, even though I know you're a woman who can pay for yourself. He's showing willingness to give to you and to give towards the relationship. A man who demonstrates that as much as he possibly can and really puts his money where his mouth is going to be a man who will give in many other areas. So we want to see that a man's actions and habits prove to you that he has the ability to become the quote unquote one, the one that you live with the rest of your life. Actions are just so important, and we want to see more of it. I think a lot of girls' standards of actions and habits are pretty weak nowadays, to be honest. I feel like women settle for very, very low levels of investment. And I want to encourage you to be on the lookout for bigger levels of investment, or at least a progression of his investment. So maybe he's hanging out with you once a week for that first month. Hopefully in the second month, he's like, how can I see you more? I really want to hang out with you more. Do you have more time during the week? Oh, do you want to get together during the week? Do you want to get together multiple times a week? You want to see a gradual progression of how much of his precious time he is willing to give you, who he is willing to give up to spend time with you. Is he willing to just kind of say no to the guy guys or even invite you in to hang out with the guys, you want to look for that. Actions and habits. You want to see that he comes to give to you in so many ways over and over consistently. So this takes time, but be on the lookout for that. If a man can prove that and demonstrate that, he may have the one qualities that you're looking for. Okay, let's move in to number 2. Number 2 is you can fully be yourself around him. You feel like you can let your guard down. You feel like you can be vulnerable, and your vulnerability is received and held so well, so safely, and he loves to listen to you and hear from you. And you can show up looking beautiful one day and looking frumpy the next, and he doesn't really care because he just loves being around you. You do not have to prove. So you get to let go of this audition energy, right? Like, I'm on this audition, this endless audition for this person. You don't have to do that anymore, and you don't feel this urge and this need to perform for this person. If you don't feel like you have to perform for this guy, then he could have the one qualities, which is what we're looking for. And I want to add one other thing in this, is that this may even feel a bit boring to you. So when you can fully be yourself around someone, it takes a little bit of that anxiety out of you. And when we don't have spurts of anxiety and anxiousness inside of us, it's hard to get really butterfly and jittery and all those things, right? So I want you to notice that when you think about somebody being the one, it could have moments of boredom almost, like you feel kind of bored with this person. When someone is secure, it feels boring, right? But when someone is an anxious attached person or an avoidant attached person, it feels so high, so low, so hot, so cold. It's very high and it's very low. And so that can feel exhilarating and exciting. It brings bursts of those feelings inside of you, because when something's so low and it gets high again, that feeling feels extra good. But when somebody is secure, they're fairly steady. And so steadiness can feel and look boring. And actually, someone who is steady and he's secure is normal. That's a normal relationship. Those are the recipe for a healthy, long-lasting, committed relationship, a relationship that has the ability to have long-term commitment, absolutely have security, which can also feel boring. So keep that in mind. Don't always pass up on guys who are quote unquote boring at first or not as exhilarating at first, because this could really change the game for you as far as really finding the quote unquote one for you. So let's dive into number 3. He makes you guys a we. He views you as we and not just like a he or a him. He doesn't think of his life as just him. He always considers you two as a we. My husband does this to me all the time still. And sometimes I say, oh, I have to do that. Or yeah, I was really working on that. Or I planned this trip. And my husband will say, I? And he's like, oh, you mean we? Actually, we were, babe, we. And so you want a man who is always looking for ways to make you guys a we. And this looks like integration. Okay. So is this man like happy to integrate you into his world, into his life? Does he just like casually like invite you, like his mom's making dinner or something, and he's like, come on over for dinner? Or I'm going out to lunch with my mom. Do you want to come with us? Or I'm hanging out with my friends. Do you want to come? This is something that my husband did really well. He always did that. He almost never, ever, ever left me out of his plans or out of his world. He was always integrating me into his world. And that was a progression that constantly was happening. So he was integrating me into his life from the get-go, from the beginning, out the gate. So you want to see, is this man integrating you into his world? Is he seeing you as a we? That is a great sign that he has the one material, that he has the ability to be the one. And last but not least, which is he will always be sure of you. A man who is always sure of you is exactly what you're looking for. The thing is, a lot of women settle for men, or they're really hooked on the guy who is unsure, who is wishy-washy, who's hot and cold, or maybe, is pursuing them a little bit, pulling back a little bit. There's a lot of push and pull happening. But the thing is, a guy who's push and pulling, hot and cold, and all that stuff is a guy who is actually unsure of you. And if you're looking for the one, you want the guy who is certain of you. He's sure of you. He's sure of your relationship. He's looking for all of the ways that he can integrate you, that he can see you, that he can make you feel safe, make you feel sure, make you feel wanted, right? So make sure that you are looking for a man who is sure of you. And you'll notice this in a lot of different ways, but it's not that he's necessarily telling you on date 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, like, you're amazing, like I could totally see myself marrying you. No, that doesn't mean he's sure of you yet. Time tells if somebody is sure of you, okay? So you want to see how sure a person becomes of you. And you will see this by all the things I've already said, which are his investments. You will know this by his wow factor of you. Like, how does he see you? Like, do you get the feeling that he really likes you a little bit more than you like him? These are good things. Is he bringing security and steadiness? Do his actions back up what he is saying? Integration is huge. I'm going to just sit on that one for 1 second. Please do not underestimate that. When a guy is willing to take you to see his family, his friends, he's quick, he wants to throw you into his family, it's because he actually sees you as the one material. He sees you as somebody who could be his one for the rest of his life. If he's hesitant on that or hesitating in that way, that's never a good sign, okay? When you are out there trying to find the one, look for these qualities. Look for his actions to back it up. Look for his wow factor in you. Is he making you a we? Look to see if he makes you feel safe emotionally and mentally and physically. And if someone doesn't make you feel safe and you feel all that anxiety and anxiousness, check yourself. Check in and say, is this really the type of relationship I want to be? Is this someone that I really would like to choose to be my one and only partner for the rest of my life? Does this work for me? Am I actually choosing men according to the way that I love myself? If I truly love and value myself, I will be on the lookout for men who make me feel safe, and those who do not make me feel safe, I will absolutely be turned off from. So are you turned on by men who give you this lack of safety on the inside, or are you turned on by men who make you feel safe? That's a great question for you to journal on and think about today. So that's all I have for you. I hope this was helpful. And if you really want to work more, dive deep, and transform your entire love life, I have a program called the True Feminine Academy. I've taken hundreds of women through that, and I've had hundreds of women get into beautiful, loving relationships where they are in committed relationships. I just go read my testimonials. They come in all the time of just never, ever knowing that this was possible to feel so loved and cherished. And if that's something you really would love to have and you would like to embark on that journey, be sure to click the link in my bio, and you can either get on the wait list or join the program depending on when you're watching this video and if the cohorts are open. But love you, girls. I hope to see you on all my other social platforms, TikTok, Instagram. My podcast has beautiful long form content that will absolutely change your life. I love you. And until the next video, I'll catch you later. Bye.